Fade in.
Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, everyone, to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com. And it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday. I had to make that video yesterday, and it took all day, and I kept on pushing the Nooner till the evening, and then it was like 11, and I'm like, I'm just going to push it to today. I'm figuring the news is still a little bit hot. I usually, when I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee, and then I go to YouTube and I see what videos my friends have made. Yesterday, it was Ryan Kinnell's. Kinnell or Kinnell. It should be Kinnell. But Kinnell. I don't know. I think it would be L-E if it was Kinnell, but that's me. I guess he doesn't want to sound like a kennel. Did a video pointing out a video on the Oscars YouTube channel. Well-timed, very well-timed video from Kathleen Kennedy touting and praising the accomplishments of women in Hollywood just days after she fired Gina Carano. And a day after, an article came out that essentially said that. The article from The Hollywood Reporter, which was an opinion piece from Heat Vision, which they are laying off people from, by the way. Somebody just was publicly let go on Twitter from Heat Vision recently. And they said that sources say that executives at Lucasfilm fired Gina Carano. We all know who it was. The executive who is never around when things go wrong, is always around when things go right, never acknowledges any mistakes, has to have the CEO of the company apologize for her. Kathleen Kennedy. Fade in. Hashtag fade in, everybody. So, well done, Ryan, by the way. He got that thing. They had to delete the comments. They got rid of the likes and dislikes, but now it is spread across the whole channel. And that is just, I love you guys so much. Don't ever let them rest. If we haven't, we've learned a lot over the last year, but the shenanigans have been exposed in a lot of ways. And we're just going to talk about the Access Media shenanigans. So seeing their act now, and yes, this is, like I said in my video, this is The Last Jedi Part 2, all of the failure without the shitty movie. And we're seeing the Access Media come out and protect Disney, and now they're just pushing. I mean, Disney already validated a lie, which was saying Gina Carano's abhorrent behavior, and then following that, disparaging religious groups, which is not true. It's just not true. You could say you don't agree with some of her tweets and you don't agree with her politics, but you fired her for abhorrent behavior and disparaging groups of people and religious groups. When you hire people who have done that, who've actually done that, but Gina hasn't actually done that. So we got one more today. Our good friend Yellow Flash put up a video this morning after this live stream. Please go check it out, where he points out a young lady named Annabelle Nugent from The Independent says that Gina Carano called for cancel Disney Plus. That is not true. That is a lie. Cancel Disney Plus, as far as I know, started. Well, I'll use my I statements here. I watched a quartering video. The quartering said, "Get it out there. Hashtag cancel Disney Plus." It was already kind of rolling around in my head, and I'm like, sure, I'm on board. Let's do it. And I understand, and I understood what it was meant to do. It wasn't meant to actually destroy Disney Plus, harm Disney in any way. Well, yeah, it was meant to embarrass them. And I put up a tweet a couple of days ago, the ending of 300. You weren't going to beat, you just had to show that God could bleed. And if we got a single drop out of them, if we got a single drop out of Disney, that's good enough. And we embarrassed them for an evening. That was the whole point. Now, a lot of people actually did cancel their Disney Plus, and they stayed canceled, like yours truly, and I intend to. And I know a lot of people are going to pick it back up again because they want to watch Marvel shows and they see them as a separate entity, and that's fine. I mean, like, whatever. Do what you want to do, really. But they're not going to change until we stop funding people who hate us. And when I say us, they think I mean conservatives, and I know what I mean. Everybody else that's not Hollywood, which happens to be people on the left, people in the center, people on the right, trans people, our alphabet friends. There's plenty of them in here. So they're trying to spin this as a conservative thing. And, Gina did go to Ben Shapiro, and that's fine. I've always said conservatives are welcome here. Catholics are welcome here. Everybody's welcome here. We're preaching the religion of common sense, which is it's dying. It's dying, and we need to bring it back. And that's why I've called for many of you to start YouTube channels that, whether they take off or not, it's the sheer numbers. We need to show that we are the vast majority. We're just too damn busy to, go and cancel people on Twitter. Plus, we wouldn't do that. Normal people don't wake up in the morning going, I need to get rid of somebody I disagree with today. Where's my checklist of people I disagree with? And what Disney did was absolutely ensured somebody else is going to get canceled. An individual's life is going to be ruined, which affects that individual's family members, their kids, if they have any. But this is the company that says they care about people. They care about us. And I saw all those caring people on Twitter, the same people who were calling to fire Gina Carano, were very happy a certain radio personality died and was wishing cancer on other people. Those are the kind, loving people who are down for unity. And those are the ones that Disney's capitulating to, bending the knee to. But we need to make it clear and really call them out. Usually I don't want anyone going after individuals, but when it comes to a specific lie, we do need to call Annabelle Nugent out from The Independent and force her to retract that statement, because it will get repeated over and over again. And anybody who repeats it, we need to go after them just on the specific lie that Gina Carano started, cancel Disney Plus, because she did not. She did not start cancel Disney Plus. YouTubers did. A YouTuber did. And I don't know if it was Jeremy from the Quartering or not. That's just the first place I saw it. And I ran with it, and other people ran with it. Who knows who started it? Doesn't matter. It was people genuinely wanting to cancel it because they were sick of Disney's abhorrent behavior, which is the word of the week, by the way. Abhorrent, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here before we get into it. Yeah, I was fired up when I saw that. That was a good video by Yellow Flash, too. Hail Yellow Flash. That is running good. Okay. We have Heck No. Stephen Thompson. Maj Peaches. I'm moving to the country. I'm going to eat me a lot of peaches eventually. You know, it's a good thing I didn't move to Texas right now. Guy Incognito. Girthy guitarist SD, and he goes, so. Chris Formosa also says, so. Yes. Oh, Grace. Oh, Grace. Null Unit 60. Welcome. Chris Z. Welcome. Geek Tripology. Your Muslim uncle. Got to say it right. Buckaroo Baizu. Rajesh Taylor. And Grand Wazoo 42. Talent NL999. Tobias Gregory, who is a member. John Connors. Eric K is probably in here. I didn't see where the wrenches are, but there's Father Christopher Miller. We've got just another red shirt in here. I'm sure Nyla's Shadow is running around somewhere. And welcome to the show. All right, so we'll start with the article. As people roll in, we'll start with the article from The Independent. And here it is. Gina Carano says she found out about her exit from The Mandalorian. God dang. Yeah, I need to get ad blocker. I know. Her exit from The Mandalorian through social media, like everyone else. Last week, Lucasfilm announced that Carano would no longer star in The Mandalorian. We all know this stuff, and they're going to go down probably the James Gunn stuff and everything else, and how she wasn't fired for being a conservative. She was fired because they didn't like her political beliefs, and she didn't bend the knee to the pronouners. It's simply that. That's it. That's it. So I'll read a little bit of this article, and then I'm going to reset my philosophy on pronouns, just in case you haven't heard it. Gina Carano has said that she found out about her exit from The Mandalorian. Got this, repeating the headlines just to get your word salad going. Last week, the production company Lucasfilm announced that Carano would not be featured in future seasons of the hit Star Wars spin-off series. The news came shortly after the actor who portrayed mercenary Cara Dune shared a post on Instagram that likened being Republican in the U.S. today as experiencing... No, it was a warning. It was a warning that there was a lot of help in that country at that time from propaganda, and they were not able to do it without the help of the citizenry, and they forced the citizenry to do it. Either there were some people who were willing and able, there were some people who were in fear, whatever the reason. It was done. It was horrid, but they had help, and that is a very dire warning that stuff like that, you know, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. That's basically what it was saying. And hate is hate. Evil is evil. Some people might not have liked the analogy, and that's your prerogative. And I've heard a lot of people who said, listen, I didn't like the analogy, but they shouldn't have fired her. Okay, that's a normal response. That's a completely understandable. Now, I personally don't have a problem with it. Analogies are words. Words have the only power words have are what we give them. What we give them. And this directly relates to the pronouners on Twitter, who are either just provocateurs, very insecure people, or they're not. They're probably not even trans in a lot of cases. Now, let's see if she has removed that. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I found out through social media, like everyone else, like she said. In the same interview, Carano claimed that Disney had stopped her from doing press for The Mandalorian Season 2 after she refused to issue an apology with the exact wording. That's right. So Disney gave her a pre-written apology. She wanted to do it in her own words. This is where the respect comes in. This is the respect. She is working for Disney. I think in the last article, they said she was making $25,000 to $50,000 an episode. That's nobody's business, by the way. That's nobody's business how much she makes an episode. I promise you she's going to make a lot more money now. A lot more money. A lot. The move to remove Carano from the Emmy-winning series has been welcomed by many fans who had previously campaigned for Carano's dismissal due to her history of sharing controversial tweets. There aren't many fans. There is a small group of very loud people who tweet multiple times a day, as Yellow Flash pointed out in his video today, hundreds of times a day at some point. Nobody who works for a living, who is a parent, who actually makes the world go round, has time to do that. Others have defended the actor and claimed that her departure is an example of cancel culture. It is. Following the news, Carano called for a boycott of Disney's streaming service using the hashtag #CancelDisney+. This is a lie, Annabelle Nugent. That needs to be. However, the request was largely mocked. Was it because it trended for hours, but this request never happened? Never happened. You're lying and you know it. I would like you to cite where she called it. That kind of an accusation needs to be backed up. But not nowadays. Not nowadays, because nobody bothers to, I mean, like, look at how many ads are on the website. It's dying, and it can't die soon enough. The access media has outlived any what little usefulness they had. Remember back in the day when I used to go there all the time, and they would just, give you a preview of a comic book or a movie, maybe, give you a little scuttlebutt on some rumors behind the scenes. Now it is just sport for them to go after fans and to try to get a crumb of corporate pussy, which they generally don't get. Once in a while, they get an interview with an actor who's going to forget them in 30 seconds so they can go put it on their reel and make you think how connected they are when they were just connected through their organization. And in these press junkets, the actors sit there and they just bring in the interviewer, kind of like cattle being led to a trough. And then when they have the interview, they ask the most boring, uninspiring questions. How did playing Thor make you feel? Did you work out for the role? How good is this movie going to be? It's... So right there, she needs to be called out on that, and she needs to retract that immediately. It's going to get repeated 50 times now. Gina's list of accusations had been growing over time to the point where towards the end, she was inciting erections, which is the only one that's true. She was doing all kinds of things that she didn't do. And this is the garbage that's been put on us for years. And I think there was a point where we kind of threw our hands up in the air and just said, listen, this shit's going to happen all the time. But now that it's been allowed to happen, the labels are starting to stick and they're just not true. And that's led to, what we experienced last year. I was saying it in videos for a long time. So have many others. The divisiveness that Hollywood has been selling, because they have been monetizing divisiveness. This is corporate sponsored divisiveness. And it's been going on for years. And I remember when I said this is going to lead to blood in the streets, and I was being called hyperbolic, and then it fucking happened. And it's the combination of selling divisiveness through Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, and the mainstream media, and in every TV show. The Twilight Zone. I mean, it's the Watchmen. It's all there. It's just dialing up hate. They don't care. They don't care. They don't give a shit. So again, she is, you know, I would say stick to this specific issue. I would not recommend any personal attacks or anything. Just say, hey, this isn't true. It needs to be retracted. Annabelle Nugent from The Independent. Or you could just ask The Independent to retract it. I doubt they would. They're garbage. This is the same site that has really run with the toxic fandom. I did a couple of videos last year on toxic fandom within Star Wars. Refresh the page. Can you not see it? Hang on. There we go. If it's blanking out, just refresh here. It's probably because I have this stupid fracking site up. Hang on. Let's just get rid of it. Boom. I'm going to bookmark the rest. If you pull these garbage sites up now, this is ridiculous. I got kind of a kick-ass computer too. There. That should be fine. All right. Now, I mean, all of this is, again, this has been affixed to us for a long time, and we've let it go, but a lot of these labels have stuck, and we discussed this on the Quarterings live stream. You know, the whole Yahtzee thing has set in, you know, and while we go, oh, there's no power to that word, there still is to other people. I mean, there's not much we can do about it, and if, you know, people come after me, I don't care. I really don't. But this is going to get, you know, they're going to use the cancel Disney Plus thing, and they're now going to try to fix that to Gina, which is, yeah, it's just flat out not true. Flat out not true. Okay. Oh, yeah. And make sure you share this far and wide. YouTube, I don't know what the hell's been going on, but they've been they're back into their ghosting ways. I don't know if it's the subject matter or if it's just something wrong with the algorithm. I'm undecided right now. Is it true that Christopher Lee had a conversation with Tolkien and he gave his blessing to be cast as Gandalf if an adaptation ever came to be? I don't know. I don't know. Hang on. Gosh dang, I hate how this covers up your name. I can't see who it is. I can't see who gave that super chat. I'll go check in a second. I don't know. I know Christopher Lee was a massive fan. So I wouldn't be surprised. He can speak Elven, and he can he was a huge Tolkien fan. So if you watch the behind the scenes, he kind of shows off his knowledge. It's very cool. Cold Man for 2 Canadian pesos. Fade in everyone, fade in. My 3.75 figure just got here. Good day to you. Yes, this one right here. Yes, I'm gonna have a Gina Carano wing on the Walls of Wonder. She has earned it. She has earned it with all this bullshit. Now when it comes to Disney Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, I mean, like, she just freaking she was attached to a lot of great people for a lot of years. What she did, I don't know, but Spielberg liked her. And it could have been just a case where she wasn't that great at her job, but Spielberg liked having her around, and she married one of his buddies, Frank Marshall, and the great producer, Frank Marshall. And maybe it was, hey, it's Frank's wife. Let's give her a job. And, you know, she went off and did movies without them that weren't very successful. But maybe she was just good at her job, and there's some people who are good and then they rise above their station. She has obviously risen above her station. And whatever her accomplishments were before doesn't matter now. You don't get to choose your legacy. And the legacy is Star Wars has been a failure from the beginning. The obvious, you didn't put Han, Luke, and Leia in a film together, which is effing ridiculous. You had that big hit, but that was based on fan projection. The reason people went to The Force Awakens was because Han, Luke, and Leia were back. It wasn't your new characters. And after all of that, and you're preaching the Force is female, you have exactly what you wanted in Gina Carano. And this is meant as no offense to Gina, by the way, up front. Gina is not a little beanpole Hollywood, 98-pound, vapid, average actress, okay, who looks like the wind can blow her over. Gina is built like a woman, a big woman. Curves. People like curves. Curves are good. Daddy likes curves. So it's everything you wanted. So it's not your stereotypical bulimic freaking actress. It is a strong female actress, woman that totally breaks the Hollywood mold, and everybody loves her. She's the most popular actress on IMDb right now for obvious reasons, because America loves a lot of things. They love redemption stories, and they love it when people stand up to the fucking mob and don't back down. They love spine. And no actor in Hollywood, very few actors in Hollywood, I won't say no, none, have this. Very few actors have spine. For example, where are her co-stars? Where are her co-stars? Does I don't want to call it. Listen, I understand. You don't want to go against the monolith Disney. It might be a scary prospect in Hollywood because they have so much power, but they really don't. They really don't. They bought their way into the party with Marvel and Star Wars. Without those two things, Disney would be fucking nothing. Nothing. And they're not going to be around forever. And everybody's going to eventually have to suck off the teat of Netflix and Amazon. We all know it's a foregone conclusion. Disney Plus has done pretty well, but I think they've done some finagling. But 95 million subscribers, that's fucking impressive. That's great. But you think one of her co-stars who might not be a regular on the show or something, somebody like Bill Burr, I don't know if Bill Burr even knows her. I don't know. You think one of them would just say, that's pretty fucked up what they did. I don't think they would get in trouble if they say, I don't agree with Disney's decision. Dana White is the only one who came out. Good for him. There's dudes in their pool houses and in their spare bedrooms calling out Disney every day, but I guess the actors can't do it. I guess they can't do it. They're worried about the Mandalorian. Well, I'm here to tell you the Mandalorian will probably continue on and be a success, but it's not going to be what it could have been. What it was on its way to becoming the biggest thing. And I mean, something you could have probably made movies out of, and maybe, just maybe, rise from the ashes and save Star Wars for Disney. Save Disney Star Wars. Now, there's two different things there. You can't save Star Wars because Star Wars is dead. George Lucas' Star Wars is dead. It's never coming back. Even Jon Favreau's best could not equal George Lucas's Star Wars. It's a very unique thing. Disney is finding this out. And it's not something you could just make and affix it's not just a label that you can start filling your own shit in and think you're going to get the same results. So Jon Favreau tries to make a reasonable facsimile, and he does a decent job. You know, it's not great, but decent job. But it's not going to be the same now. You're going to have your 2-year break. Obviously, Pedro Pascal has come out and said that The Last of Us is going to take priority. That's interesting. And what do you got? You got, what, Rebels season 4 or 5, whatever they left off. That will appeal to Star Wars fans. Sure. Is it going to appeal to normies? Well, normies were getting interested in the lore. They were because they had their normie nip of Baby Yoda. But if Baby Yoda is going to be gone, I don't know. And there's the other problem, the Luke Skywalker dilemma you now have. Because you introduced him, people are going to now ask every single episode, where's Luke? Where's Luke? Where's Luke? Where's Luke? Where's Luke? Is Luke coming back? Are we going to get more Luke? Are we going to get more Luke? So I have no insiders. Everything I say is speculation. I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes at Lucasfilm or Disney. And no, I think it's funner to. I think it's more entertaining to guess. So my guess is that if anybody had any power over Kathleen Kennedy, who say, I don't know, liked Gina Carano, she would have still been there. But that's just purely my opinion. I don't know. So we'll see how things go forward. We're going to hear a lot. Like I said in my video, we're going to hear a lot of rumors. And I just, one thing I don't see them doing is retconning the Disney trilogy. It is pretty clear that I think Jon Favreau is allowed to play he's got his playground within that period of time where he can do a lot. And I think the best he could do is maybe try to make some sense out of the Disney trilogy, which it's not possible, but maybe he tries. And I just don't care. I'm probably not going to cover these shows. I don't cover a ton of Star Wars, only it's news. The news is the most entertaining thing. I thought it was a good thing. I thought The Mandalorian was turning things around, and maybe, just maybe, Disney decided that they wanted to entertain people and not be a platform. Nope. Now, I didn't think it would actually happen, but I was trying to keep an open mind, you know. I'm not a black pill person. I think there's always a path to redemption. With Star Wars, firing Kathleen Kennedy. It's just not going to get better while she's there. As long as she's there, it ain't going to get better. They could talk about fights, and I'm sure there's different visions, and I promise you more people will be fired who come up against her. It's been a mess. She has a trail of dead bodies behind her. Very public. And that's just the names we've heard about. I wonder how much crew she's gone through that we never hear about. Like I said, Gina's free. She's free of this Hollywood bullshit. And her brand, her name, she now is her own boss. She's got her own brand now, her own specific brand, and she can do whatever she wants now. And this is stuff actors would love to do. Now, some actors just want to work for other people, but some actors want to be more than that, and she can be now. She can make her own shit, call her own shots. This is what you go to Hollywood to do, not go work for some giant corporation. Chicago Box for $4.99. Gary, you have become my favorite channel on YouTube. Hands down, brother. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do and bringing together an all-star team on Friday Night Tights. Thank you, Chicago Box. I appreciate that. I love doing this. I love doing Friday Night Tights. I mean, I get to hang out with my friends, turn on a camera, and that's what I do for a living now. I don't know what I did to deserve this. Maybe I'm through all of my bad karma. No, probably not. But, I was talking to, I think it was Az about this. And when I saw the channel kind of starting to do well, I was thinking, and it was real defeatist. I was thinking, shit like this doesn't happen for me in my life. I get something good, I screw it up. And maybe I will someday. I don't know. I screwed up the comic shop. But then my sponsor talked to me and told me to flip my thinking around and go, no. This is your moment. You were given a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. You got to take it. And I did. And if it ends tomorrow, it was absolutely worth it. Oddity, thank you for the $1.49 donation. Peach. Gonna eat me a lot of peaches in the country. I am. When I get out there, get out of this city life. SJ Almighty for 10 pounds. Thank you, super sticker. Thank you, SJ Almighty. Thank you. But, Gina Carano standing up through all this, refusing to read off Disney's pre-written apology was the single ballsiest thing I have heard from Hollywood. Gina has more metaphorical balls than anyone in Hollywood, and that's why people like her. Hollywood's brand has taken quite a beating lately, and I tried to, not that they're going to listen to me, but it's not just me saying this. It's like, guys, we like your stuff. We have liked your stuff in the past. We want to continue enjoying it, but you're making it very hard for us because you keep telling us you hate us. And when you come out and call 73 million Americans Yahtzees, while I am not a registered, I'm a registered independent. I don't align with any party. I don't think that way. I don't think that's a healthy way to do things. I would recommend everybody become independent, and then you can just vote by the issues and not give a shit what some party says and tells you what to do, which I think most of you do, even if you identify as that party. And it's okay to identify with that party. And, some decades, one party is crazy. Some decades, the other party is crazy. It's just, that's the way it's been. What's going on right now reminds me a lot of what was going on with the PMRC. I was watching a Frank Zappa video. It's a great video about him talking about what happened to the music industry. And this was during the PMRC thing. Frank Zappa was huge in that. I like Frank Zappa's music. I liked Frank Zappa more than I liked his music. I thought the guy was freaking brilliant. A brilliant businessman. Whether he was an ultimate capitalist, by the way. And yeah, so he talked about like back in the 60s when music was great and experimental, and it's the same for comics. All the record companies and the comic companies were owned by old guys with, who chomped on cigars, who didn't understand anything they were making. So they just went, I don't know what it is. Try it. That was their whole attitude. Like, hey, I just print records. I got this job because I'm a Depression era kid. I never gave a shit about music or comics before. And my uncle got me this job, and I was told having a job is, it's not something we should take for granted. So I'll do the best I can. Not that I understand any of this stuff. So these hippies would come in, and the old guys wouldn't understand the music, but they'd say, okay, we'll try it. What the hell? And that's how experimental music, that's how it blew up, because there was no real gatekeeper. Unless you pissed that cigar chomping guy off directly, he didn't care what you were saying in your music. Same thing was going for comics too. But then eventually the fanboys came in, and the hipsters came in, and the hippies, and they're the ones who started gatekeeping. They're the ones who became conservative while they were saying they weren't. They were the ones who were becoming, I'll use a better word, restrictive. And it's evolved since then. And that's why we get this homogenous garbage from Hollywood now. But yeah, look it up after this. Frank Zappa. I'll put it in one of my videos. Maybe I'll play it later. Frank Zappa on the music industry. He says it a whole lot better than I did. And may he rest in peace. I miss Frank Zappa. I do. He also has a great one where he's sitting there talking about his band and what he expects from his band and respecting the audience. I'll play that one later. That one's fucking great. About respecting the customer, respecting the person who pays for your ticket. Yeah, we will play that one today because all of Hollywood should listen to that one. Christian Delorme for 5 Canadian pesos. Fancy meeting you here, Gary. Cheers, buddy. Fancy meeting you here, sir. What's up, Christian? Shadow Persona for $5. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. So there was an article that came out earlier today that we're going to pull up right now, which was Gina essentially. So like I said, the pendulum swings. So the authoritarianism stays the same, and it's just the team, a different team goes and fills that post every so often. And right now, the McCarthy era blacklisting is happening again, just from the other side. And listen, I know the history behind there. It's not as black and white as Hollywood would like you to believe. There was a lot of nuance. There was a lot of actual communists that were around too. But should they have been blacklisted? I mean, you got to have a consistent argument. I mean, you can, I'm not a fan of communism. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm trying to get this article here. But Razorfist did some great videos on that I highly recommend you watch. And I meant to fit this in my video, and it didn't make it. It was on the cutting room floor, so we will just do this. We will read it now. My God, do I have a lot of bookmarks. Really need to edit this someday. Here it is. Here, I gotta pull it up. Oh, is that going to be it? No. Oh, well, I'm just going to have to read it to you because now it's not working. So it is by Bari Weiss, Gina Carano, and crowd-sourced McCarthyism, talking with the Star Wars actress about her cancellation and a meme. It used to be possible to follow the allegations and cancellations. Remember when the cooking columnist Allison Roman lost her job at the New York Times because she criticized Chrissy Teigen? That sentence looks just as absurd now as it did then, but so could 10,000 others. And it's hard to even remember if it happened last week or last month or last year. It used to be possible to take in all of the apologies, but they have, in a kind of positive feedback loop, become so cringe-induced, so self-abasing, so utterly Soviet. There is simply no other way to describe this sort of thing. If you find yourself accused of a racism for writing a piece in defense of football, and a PR hack tries to convince you that a struggle session is the best available course of action, seek advice elsewhere. Oh, wow. Really? Did that actually happen? A struggle section. That's exactly what these are, by the way. It's exactly what these are. I'm going to try this again. Yeah, it's not really cooperating right now. God dang it. I changed all my, I lost my, you don't want to hear about it. I lost my cache file on my Streamlabs. Oh, I'll have to find it somewhere. Things have gotten so ridiculous so quickly. Bon Appetit is currently going back and editing insufficiently sensitive recipes in what they call, I kid you not, an archive repair effort. That my baseline assumption is that 99% of cancellations are unwarranted. In other words, people are losing their jobs and their reputations not for violating genuine taboos, but for simple mistakes, minor sins, or absolute nonsense. It's impossible to overstate the bystander effect of these public humiliations. Normal people are functioning like we live under a new kind of McCarthyism, and for good reason. Our McCarthyism is crowdsourced, corporate sponsored. I added that, but not necessarily less vicious or ruinous. All of which is why when I saw late last week that an actor named Gina Carano had been fired from a role on a Star Wars show because she doesn't have the same kind of politics required to avoid the modern Hollywood blacklist, I leapt to her defense. Since I am not a Star Wars fan, sorry, I know, it's fine. It really is. Right now, it's more understandable to not be a Star Wars fan. Now, but we have to separate. There's Star Wars fans, you know, people like Ryan Kinnell, OG Star Wars fan, Doomcock, Ichibaka, Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers. And then there's Disney Star Wars fans. Those are two different things. Those are two different brands. Gina Carano was the best thing Disney Star Wars had. She was an ambassador to you and I, to a portion of the fandom that Disney Star Wars had lost forever. And she was gaining a lot of them back, and she was doing a lot of good. And if you couple what she was doing with what Jon Favreau was doing in The Mandalorian, again, personally, don't think it's that good. Never did. Thought it had moments of greatness amidst some a lot of boring stuff and a lot of nonsensical stuff. Especially that Boba Fett episode. That Boba Fett episode was, I might do a video on that Boba Fett episode, which is directed by one of my all-time favorite directors, Robert Rodriguez. I love Robert Rodriguez. But not even he could fix that. It was utter shite. But it's okay to not be a Star Wars fan. It's really okay to not be a Disney Star Wars fan. I had not heard of Carano before Friday, but I am sentient enough to know that The Mandalorian, the Star Wars show streaming on Disney Plus, is a hit. It is apparently 5 times as popular as any other show on the streamer and was the first Disney Plus show to hit Nielsen's streaming top 10 lists, which is very interesting. I'm wondering how Nielsen counts that. Do they use Parrot Analytics? Carano, a former MMA fighter and actress, she's not a former actress, she's still an actress, plays the bounty hunter, it's mercenary who's now a ranger for the Republic, for the New Republic. Cardoon, I know I sound like such a nerd. Actually, she's not a bounty hunter, she was a mercenary, and now she's a ranger for the New Republic on the series. Or she did until Lucasfilm announced that she was fired, and UTA, her agency, dropped her shortly thereafter. UTA, you suck, you're punks. Fuck you. So what did Carano do? Her sin is her politics. She's a conservative. Among her views expressed via social media, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. No, he didn't. And pronouns in bios are worthy of mockery. This fall, she briefly updated her Twitter bio to read, beep, bop, boop. Beep, bop, boop. Thought that was great. By the way, my pronouns are who, what, me. She's the rare celebrity that has a Parler account. And Parler is back, but you can't share videos. I guess that's eventually going to come in. We'll discuss that later. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Parler right now. You get the drift. If you've ever ventured beyond the bounds of MSNBC or have a single right of center friend, none of this is surprising. It's also why Carano has been under scrutiny for a while. Hashtag Fire Gina Carano trended on Twitter for long before last week. The actress, like some of our aunts and uncles, can be a bit trollish online. Yes, and I like it. And has posted some stupid memes. I don't know about that. The one that led her to firing was a TikTok post about that. We know about this. Jesus Christ, we know about this. A good rule of thumb is to avoid comparing America to 30s Germany. No. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. So it's going to be taboo to talk about the last Holocaust, until the next one happens? Is that what we're waiting for? I think, to use their language, baseline. I think there's a baseline here that everybody thinks genocide is horrible. It's the kind of thing you don't really need to say out loud. It's assumed, and it's a proper assumption. But you see how this helps the narrative? Then you can't talk. No. You can talk about anything you effing want. And yeah, sure, there's consequences, but you need to read what she posted and actually understand it. And I think a lot of people do, and they're just disingenuous, and they manipulated it, and they wanted to get rid of her. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, by the way, it's no different than her co-stars making those analogies too, which is perfectly okay, right? No, it's not. So there's Pedro. And by the way, that picture is in America 2018, by the way, just so you know. That would be unthinkable, of course, in Hollywood. As in so many other industries, there are two sets of rules, one for the left and one for everyone else. So Pedro Pascal, who publicizes that he goes by he, him, still has his job, with Gina Carano being fired, with Lucasfilm claiming that her social media post denigrating people based on their culture and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. For what it's worth, I see the image she shared is historically and politically uncomprehending, but I do not feel that it denigrates that group of religious people, that fine group of religious people, in any way. And it doesn't. It doesn't. According to the usual playbook, we'd all have forgotten about Carano by the end of the weekend. Another person memory hold by our merciless, hypocritical culture, but that's not what happened here. Less than 48 hours after her firing, the Daily Wire, helmed by Ben Shapiro, announced that he was hiring Gina Carano to produce and star in an upcoming film. Here, I'm supposed to offer the throat clearing about how Ben and I disagree on gay marriage and on abortion and on a dozen other issues. We do. So what? This move seemed to me was the right one, and exactly what I meant when I wrote 2 weeks ago that this is the time to exit institutions that betray liberal values and to build original. Barry, I love Barry for this, by the way. a lot of us have been saying this for a long time. Build original, interesting, and generative things right now, this minute, every day. I hear from those with means, with children at private schools who are being brainwashed, people who run companies where they are scared of their own employees, people who donate to their alma mater, even though it betrays their principles. Enough. You have the ability to build new things. If you don't have the financial capability, you have the social or political capital or the ability to sweat. You have the ability to sweat. Sweat equity is a tangible, important thing. I had a business partner. Who didn't have all the money to put into it. So I said, cool, we'll work on some sweat equity. You come in, you do a little work, buys you in. Fully believe in that shit. I need to echo this. And this isn't just for entertainment, folks. This is absolutely everything. Now that our small business landscape has been decimated, this does provide opportunity. We can stop them. See, they think we're all just going to run and hide. And right now, we're all in lockdown, but we're going to eventually get out. Those empty spaces are going to have to be rented. A lot of people, because they were forced into lockdown, are kind of doing their own thing now. Melissa, yesterday, just went to a hat maker here locally. He's making his own hats now. He's making his own. It's on my Instagram, by the way. Here, I'll show you a picture. And that's just one of the many stories out there. And if you can't start your own business, ask to join one that started. What she's saying there, start your own shit, break the narrative, break these institutions that have betrayed, I won't just say liberal values, American values, human values, values of free speech, values of free expression, the value of discourse. We need discourse. We need it. I was told by a very, very prominent person in Hollywood how important discourse is to this person. You probably won't agree with this person's politics, but I promise you this person doesn't want other people to disappear, doesn't want voices silenced. This person isn't very happy. This person is a good person to have in Hollywood. One of the few. I'm looking up a picture of the hat. There. So it's hardtack haberdashery. Doesn't roll off the tongue, but it's at hardtack haberdashery. And if you can see this, this is the beautiful Mrs. Nerdrotic. Right there. And that's the hat. Hang on. There we go. That's the hat right there. It's handmade. It's handmade. So that's the kind of shit people are doing right now. And that is good. So there is a way we can turn this stuff around. There is a path to victory. There is a path to victory. There's been a lot of black pills going around, and I get it. I understand it. It's been L after L after L, and this was an L, folks. This was an L. Like, Gina getting fired was a fucking huge loss for her and for the fandom. And I know this is the one thing I know. She feels as bad for us as she feels for herself. She does. She understands that we were just fans who wanted to enjoy our shit. And it was Disney Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, who introduced the divisive identity politics, intersectional feminism, and anti-capitalism. Anti-capitalism in the most capitalist company to ever exist, Disney. anti-small business, anti-middle class. They haven't come out and said that, but that's what they are right now. They want us all locked in our houses watching their effing streaming service. By the way, cancel Disney Plus again was something that's a personal decision. My whole intent was to help it get trending so it embarrassed Disney for a little while. Never thought again that it would defeat Disney Plus or defeat Disney or even fucking hurt Disney. Now, I will continue to cover their shit. I am not pirating it, but I'm not paying for it. So Barry Weiss, who I like a lot, by the way, because of this move, it seemed to me was the right one and exactly what I meant when I wrote 2 weeks ago that now at this time 2 weeks ago, that now is the time to exit institutions that betray liberal and American and human and family values. And what Gina is doing is she's being a trailblazer, an actual trailblazer, not Daniel Kibblesmith's trailblazer. And this will now Hollywood's going to lose talent. Again, the era of the movie star is over, so they're not getting their best talent already. Like I've said before, there's a pool of talent on this planet. It's finite. There's only so many talented people, right? And they're going to go into other things other than film and television. Video games is the top tier form of entertainment. It's numero uno by far. Hollywood's not the top tier anymore. Hollywood sees their end. And this is going to take a while, folks. But the fact that we are now going to each other for entertainment, this is new. This is just starting to catch on. This is going to get, maybe it grows beyond YouTube eventually, finally. Maybe there's Odyssey, I'm hearing, is pretty good. I'm going to start an Odyssey account here pretty soon. And hopefully it's a viable competitor, because when YouTube gets competitors, look what it did. When Twitch started competing with YouTube, a bunch of cool shit happened on YouTube. It got them to actually change. And right now, last night I was looking for some good old fashioned YouTube videos. I was looking for some woo-woo. So I'm into woo-woo, right? So I was looking for nuclear war, ancient nuclear war. There's a whole thing out there of that there might have been a nuclear war, 10,000 years ago or something. It's probably complete bullshit, but I like reading about it. And there used to be, David Hatcher Childress would do lectures on it. That shit's all gone. It's all fucking gone. That's the stuff I used to go to YouTube for. UFO videos. I don't care if they're probably fake. I don't give a shit. I just want to see them. They're gone. They're fucking gone. And that sucks. That sucks because I want to stay here and I'm going to stay here, but that's where it starts to erode. And YouTube and Google have betrayed those values as well. 25 hours later, I logged back in to see that the offensive archaeologists had done a little digging. They found that Carano in December had shared this. The meme bears striking a resemblance to an infamous East London mural called Freedom for Humanity that Jeremy Corbyn defended from destruction. The faces in the original mural are different, hook-nosed, and they're supposed to look like, yeah. And I don't think this one was. That looks like just a bunch of white dudes to me. Bunch of businessmen. There are different standards. God, I wish I could show this. Hang on, folks. Now I have to show this part. Let's see. If I tried this. There it is. Boom. All right, now we know that she showed this image, and it was based on this image that, by the way, Jeremy Corbyn defended from destruction. The faces in the original mural are different, hook-nosed and blah, 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 stuff that I don't want to say here on YouTube. But yeah, there's an obvious difference. So there are different standards. What she did was the mirror. Okay, so freedom of humanity that Jeremy Corbyn defended from destruction. The faces in the original mural are different, hook-nosed, and more obviously the derogatory stereotype of that religious group. There are different standards, or ought to be, for actors who get paid to play other people and politicians who serve the public and should know the history and implications of such an image. When the then leader of the Labour Party objected to the destruction of the mural, it was in the context of a litany of other data points. As I wrote in the New York Times on November 2018, he paid respects at the memorial of the Palestinian proprietors of the 1972 Munich Olympics massacre. He participated for over a decade in the activities of a group called Dire Yassin, never heard of them, Remembered, which was led by a Holocaust denier. He publicly defended and virtually anti-Semitic vicar named Stephen Zaire. Yeah, that was the one thing I did notice in London when I was there in 2003. I've told this story before. I got there in 2003. I was a little jet lagged. I was by Marble Arch. We were staying by Marble Arch in London. And there's a big, park there. And this was right at the beginning of the Iraq War, right? So I go jogging. I've got my little Discman, and I've got a Captain America shirt on because I wanted to walk around London with my Captain America shirt because I wanted to be a big, ugly American. So I go jogging, and there is effing people everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So it was an anti-war protest. Had no idea it was happening. And I ran right through it, and people were yelling at me and throwing shit at me. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, oh, I got my Captain America shirt on. And I look up, and every sign was anti-Semitic. Like, it was, wow. I'm like, whoa. I thought it was going to be down with, America or something. There was certainly that there too. But it was way worse than that. It was like, holy shit, what's this? And you never hear about that on the news. You never see those signs, but I saw them. So I reached out to Carano for answers. Wow. A reporter reaches out to Carano for answers. What a surprise. That is actually a surprise. That never fucking happens. What I asked her was, what were her intention when she shared that image? Did she know it drew on anti-Semitic ideas or imagery? I was in utter shock and confused when certain people said it was anti-Semitic, she wrote. Then I went to take it down. I noticed that the image was not the same one that the people were referencing. I was honestly confused. So I should I take it down or should I leave it up? I still don't know the answer to that question because taking it down only makes the mob attack you more. Carano said, yes, don't take it down. Don't take it down. Because okay, I don't know what this image is, whatever. But you can have a derivative image that changes it, and that just looks like a bunch of white businessmen, kind of like the ones who, control us. Yeah, that's all it looks like to me. So, but like that, she had an adult conversation with somebody about this. Instead of saying, We got you. We got like you're in some kind of court of law or something. The offense rests. Gina isn't anti-Semitic, period. This meme is being resurfaced as a posi facto justification for an unjustifiable cancellation, he said. Who said this? Oh, Ben Shapiro. Okay. Gina wasn't aware of the origins of the original picture and was devastated to hear about it, just as she has been devastated by the absurd and bad faith contention that she is anti-Semitic in any way. I understand why Carano feels torn about taking down the image. There's no winning. Leave it up and you're bad. Take it down and you're bad. Since it's an admission of guilt, that's what she found out when Lucasfilm tried to force her to apologize over the pronoun joke in her Twitter bio. Earlier on last year, before The Mandalorian came out, they wanted me to use their exact wording for an apology over a pronoun usage. I declined and offered a statement in my own words. I made it clear I wanted nothing to do with mocking the transgender community and was drawing attention to the abuse of the mob in forcing people to put pronouns in their bio, she told me. Lucasfilm's response was to exclude her from all press and promotion from the show, according to Carano. That was heartbreaking, but I didn't want to take away from the hard work of everyone who worked on the project, so I said, okay, honorable thing to do. That was the last time I was contacted about any type of public statement or apology from Lucasfilm. I found out through social media, like everyone else, that I was fired. Gina Carano got fired. Meantime, Ice Cube tweeted out, among other trouble things, the original London mural. And it doesn't appear to have hurt his reputation beyond the Jewish community. John Cusack tweets, unmistakable anti-Semitism conspiracies, and he still gets cast. John Cusack is gone, man, gone. Chelsea Handler, Jamila Jamil, I don't know, I'm sorry, and Jessica Chastain shared a Farrakhan video. Jessica Chastain, why is she sharing a Farrakhan video? Alex Jones interviewed him once. That was interesting. Yeah, so other people do it all the time, and hypocrisy. So what gets asked all the time, where does it end? When we decide it does. When we decide it does. We're still funding all this. We are the majority. Common sense is the majority. But a lot of us are like, I can't be bothered with this. And I understand that, but I think there's going to have to be a time where you're going to have to be bothered with it. You're going to have to take the time. I know it's just stupid social media shit, but it's what Disney did cannot be undersold. What Disney did was validate cancel culture, validated a lie, and gave these people a lot of power. A lot of fucking power. The people who canceled Gina Carano. Eventually, yes, it's going to hurt Disney. In the long run, this is going to have horrible effects on their company. Every time they do something like this, they lose a group of fans forever, that will not go to their parks, that will not buy their products. And if we have people out here, which is me, which is everybody in this chat, helping other people going, oh, that's a Disney product. Maybe you want to buy this one instead. You know, and it's up to you. It's up to you. Check out Bill Whittle sometime. I know he watches you and Doomcock. He's working on his own independent sci-fi project. Would love to see him and you all on Friday Night Tights. Move to Florida, says John Wayne for $9.99. Well, I'm glad you're still alive, John Wayne. Love your movies. You would have been canceled if you were still alive today. So it's a good thing you're in up there in heaven. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to go visit Florida. I'm not going to go to Disney World. I wouldn't even go there for free. I won't even go there for free. I'll never go to Disneyland again. I used to love going to Disney. That was the one thing I liked about Disney was Disneyland. Love Disneyland. But Pirates of the Caribbean is ruined now. It's all PC. So the Haunted Mansion is still a fucking just a genius ride. It's fine. I'll go to Universal Studios. I'm good. I'll go support J.K. Rowling. And listen, J.K. Rowling, as crazy as she has been, having a billionaire get attacked. If we have J.K. Rowling and we got Elon, and if we get more people with fucking common sense that have a couple of bucks, maybe other platforms will show up. I don't know. I listened to more of Tom McDonald, who we played on Friday Night Tights. I loved his song. I'm surprised he hasn't been arrested or Minecraft by the crazies due to how unafraid he is to speak. Well, iTunes took off his song Fake Woke. So he got canceled by iTunes, but what I say about that is I know a lot of you have Apple products. Apple is garbage now. It's a garbage company. It's a garbage company. I used to be a staunch Apple supporter when it came to their computers. I used to be a Final Cut Pro editor. Final Cut Pro was a fucking great program. Their computers were beasts. They could handle that shit. And their computers have gone to crap since Tim Cook took over. All of their focus is on the phones, and that's where they make all their money, but they aren't innovators anymore. It's a garbage company. Grand Wazoo 42, thank you for the super sticker. Says, good job. Good job to you. Good job to you. So I will repeat from earlier in the episode. There is a young lady named Annabelle Nugent from The Independent who stated that Gina Carano called for cancel Disney Plus. She did not. That is a lie. She has said nothing about that. Zero. That was us. And I said the first person I heard it from was Jeremy from The Quartering. And considering that he gets his videos out faster than anybody else, he was probably the first person to get it. By the way, hail Perry Chan. Hail Perry Chan. My editor and partner, my partner over at Nerdrotic Daily. We are 50-50 partners on that channel. He has got that channel past 20,000 subscribers in 3 months. That is effing epic. That is epic. So I'm going to open up memberships over on that channel. It's going to be like $1. It's going to be like $1. And that's going to, and Perry, what you're going to probably get is $1 or $2. You'll get access to the videos early. And that's going to be for Perry, by the way, for Perry. Crazy Cat Guy, thank you for the $1.49 ice cream. I appreciate it. And you can also subscribe to Perry's channel too. Just Perry Chan, Pierrychan. He is the Terry Gilliam of YouTube. He makes all of our brilliant intros for Friday Night Tights. He is working on an intro for the BB&C. He did the intro for the Nerdrotic Nooner. He is fantastic. I posted hashtag cancel Disney Plus as soon as I heard the news without prompting, and it was already trending. Think it was an organic trend. It was, Swinging Cod. It absolutely was. Gina's got to go through enough, false accusations, and I have great empathy for that because I am falsely accused of stuff all the time. All the time. And again, as long as it's me, that's fine. Go ahead. Stay away from the family and how I make my living. Anything else is fair game, I guess. Olaf Van Ness, welcome to the proto-molecule level. And Simply Rocco, welcome to the proto-molecule level, which I need to rename. But thank you. Welcome, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Shadow Persona for $2. Thank you for the donation. Let's go over to, we got to go over. I'm still trying to figure out this effing StreamYards thing. the Streamlabs. That is, do I have to go to the end? I think I got to go to the end. Oh my Lord. What the hell? Okay. There we are. Okay. A constant finger in their face is the, I hope you didn't hear my stomach growling there. I think that might have actually caught on the microphone. My stomach's growling. I'm so fucking hungry. A constant finger in their face is the only way to back them down. But the faces change and they keep coming. Boils down to how long you can keep the finger up. Spoken from experience. And that is Man of War, the neighbor of the beast. Man of War 665. It's going to be a long battle. And like, I didn't expect to get in a fucking battle. I wanted to review TV shows. That was what I wanted to do. By the way, I just dropped a Batwoman review, and I dropped it in the middle of the night. It got recommended to absolutely no one. So if you could please check it out, I would appreciate it. It's still doing very well considering it got recommended to no one. Absolutely no fucking one. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. That was the last time I dropped a video at 8 o'clock at night. But yeah, the Batwoman review is out. I also did a Star Wars video. That one's doing great. But no, I said this on Friday Night Tights. I don't know where people got the impression, and maybe they did. I don't want to judge you for it. I really don't. That this would be a fight that we could win like this. No, this shit has been building up slowly for a long time. Many of you who've been paying attention, longer than I have, by the way, it's been building up since the early 2000s. Honestly, it started ramping up, I would say, in 2012, 2013, and it hit the stratosphere in 2015 with all the campus stuff and canceling fucking. Remember that teacher? Remember that girl who was screaming at that teacher at Harvard or whatever? That's where this shit started. And it's just gotten worse and worse, and it started permeating everything. It hit video games. It hit comic books. It hit music. It's hit the knitting community, for fuck's sake. And it's just completely taken over Hollywood. And I don't know if Hollywood can come back from it. I don't know. People assume that Hollywood is this monolith that cannot be moved and will be around forever. No, it's already peaked. Hollywood is on the decline. The NFL are on the decline. Major League Baseball, in decline. Hockey, in decline. The music industry, in decline. The comic industry, in decline. They have all seen their best days in the rearview mirror. It's already starting to erode, and all it took was the changing of a format. So we're in streaming right now. I put up a graph. I'll see if I can pull it up again. And it was a graph from the music industry. On how long it took to stop the bleeding, not recover, stop the bleeding from the Napster days, right? And I'll show you. And this is exactly what Hollywood is going to be going through. This is their future. And it could be worse. But, oh, yeah, I forgot about Vincent Jackson dying. Yeah. All right. There we go. So U.S. recorded music revenues by format. So the red is vinyl, the blue is tapes, the green is discs, the orange, I guess that's orange, is downloads, and the gray is streaming. So the music industry peaked in 1999. 1999 was their highest sales ever of anything ever. And it's been downhill ever since.
Oh no, sorry, that was 2003. Is it? What is that? Let's get let's get this right. That's 2000. Yeah, 2000. So it wasn't until 2016 where it started rising up there on the right. This is what Hollywood has to look forward to. So the reason it started upticking right here is because of subscription services. So that's good for the company, right? That is, we're going to bundle all these artists right here and people are going to subscribe, but this number will go back down because subscribing to music is a lot of people have automatically do it. Some it comes free with some of your phones. These aren't real numbers. These aren't real people subscribing to these music services. And it's fucked up for the artist. The artist just gets put in this giant pool. And if you thought they got fucked over by the record companies, how do you think Apple is treating them in iTunes? See, the same thing is going to happen and it just degrades shit. And now for an artist to succeed, he or she is going to have to make their own shit and find their own platform. And that way you don't have to have a gazillion people following you. You can have 20,000 fans and you can make a living. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. And just fuck a company. You know, yes, use their platforms while we can. YouTube obviously belongs to one of the biggest companies in the world. Use their platforms while you can to create your own stuff. That's the change. But Hollywood ain't going to survive this shit. There's all the companies that most of the big studios, if not all the big studios in Hollywood, are 50, 75, 100 years old. There aren't too many new studios out there, are they? Well, it's because they've been gatekeeping. They've had a throttle on this shit forever. Not anymore. Not anymore. They are going to get humbled. I don't know if Disney will get humbled, but you know, AT&T's fucking things left and right up at Warner Brothers, and they should be, quite frankly, at neck and neck with Disney right now, if not beating them. So that's what's in store for them. I'm not sorry to see it happen. I'm under no illusion. Nothing will change. However, last night felt like a win for the fans. For the first time in a long time, it felt good to be a fan. I just wish I could remember what I wrote, says Halcyons. Yes, Kathleen Kennedy stepping in her own shit. Thank you for the $10 donation, by the way. It was beautiful. It was like, yeah, there's times when you just think, yes, the universe gave us one. The universe is like, okay, these people have had a tough time. Here you go. Thank you. I am grateful. And fade in is never going to go away. Never going to go away. And yeah, this is a woman who runs giant productions and doesn't think to not read the fade in part on the cue card. Testing Streamlabs. Is this thing on? Says Sith Cake for $5. Yes, it's on. It is on. It is most definitely on. Gremlin Paltikin. I screwed up that name, for $1. I really like Gina in Mando and now all hope is lost. Yeah, like, you're in a dilemma with it as a Star Wars fan. You know what? Root for what you want. You know, the first thought I had was of my buddy Nicholas Glenn and coach at Echo Base, who have tried so hard to kind of bring people together and create their own channel, do their own thing. And they're in a bad spot right now. They're in a bad spot because they're going to like, if they do a lore video on something that's positive about Star Wars, they're going to get 5 people, 6 people, 30 people in the comment section going, I'm done with Star Wars. I'm fucking done. And you know what? Yeah, you're done. You're done. This does irrevocable damage. It's fucking, it's permanent damage. This is Last Jedi damage. This is shit you can't undo. And they had a lot of people interested. They had a lot of people back, whether people wanted to admit it or not. There was a lot of people back in the fold who were hardcore fandom menace. They were back in the fold. Now they're gone. They are most definitely gone. Star Wars is going to continue. It's going to do its own thing. People are going to go back. Channels are going to go back to covering it. That's fine. I just see Star Wars as, I mean, it's a meme. And it's a dead meme. It's a fucking joke at this point. It's just a joke. Think about the quality of product that has come from Disney since 2012. Like, honestly, look at it objectively. It's mostly shit. It's mostly absolute shit. A lot of fans like to project their nostalgia and their love on something that just flat out isn't there. And that comes from a good place. But it's time to just go, they fucked this up like bad, like beyond recognition. It's FUBARD. It's FUBARD. KK is a perfect example of the Peter principle. She's risen to her level of incompetence and has a high enough profile that she can't be publicly dismissed. Hashtag we love Gina Carano, says Tracy Wilson for $5. She is. You're absolutely correct. Svi Lebetkin for $10. What's up, Svi? The rabbi from another planet. Hail, Gary, can you shout out my Indiegogo? Yes, and I don't know if this link works, Svi. Hang on. So the Indiegogo is, just go search rabbi from another planet. That's all you need to search on Indiegogo. I'd love to have you on the channel. Let me know when you can. Yeah, I'll let you know. We're going to do a Fury of the Whovians too. We will be doing a Fury of the Whovians soon. Gotta get. By the way, this isn't a political statement up front. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Rush Limbaugh. Whether you liked him or not, the dude was a legend in radio, talk radio. Took talk radio to a whole new level. There was Howard Stern and there was Rush Limbaugh. And out of those two people, Rush Limbaugh was the one person who stood by his principles. Howard Stern turned into a creepy sellout piece of garbage. And one of the biggest disappointments, because he was one of my biggest inspirations for doing this. So may he rest in peace. And to the people who were happy he died, whether you agree, again, this is like this psychotic behavior we have. People, again, you don't have to like him at all. And it's not somebody I listen to. I didn't listen to Rush. I did when I remember when he was starting out in Sacramento, and he was just starting to get big because I would hear him when I was locked up in prison because I was in Folsom. But he definitely stuck by his principles. But to the people wishing death on him and cancer on other people, I didn't word my tweet great last night, but I said basically, hey, one of you wishing cancer on somebody is actually going to get it. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I talked about like how horrifically my dad died and how excruciating it was for him. So that's not, karma is a real thing. And I wouldn't do that if I were you. But it does show the content of your character. Robert Pattinson had sex on the Batmobile and that's got him in trouble? Crazy rumor. The future of Matt Reeves, the Batman, allegedly in jeopardy after Robert Pattinson caught having sex on Batmobile. And then there's the rumor that he knocked up, oh God, why am I blanking on her name? Zoe Kravitz? And he won't work out. This guy must be a nightmare on set. I know a lot of people have been rooting for him. I want Ben Affleck back as Batman. Now, I might like this movie, but I had a very unpopular opinion. I'm kind of fucking sick of grounded beginning Batman. But if he's like getting laid on the Batmobile, props, brother. You got my respect. Nothing wrong with that. Who's going to fire? No dude is going to fire another. He'd be like, you had sex on the Batmobile? Did you clean it up? Right on. Yeah, Matt Reeves doesn't give a shit about that unless he's a freaking soy-filled. His sword was long, his lance was keen. His shining helm afar was seen. The countless stars of heaven's field were mirrored in his silver shield. The Ballad of Gil-galad from Andrew Matthews for £5. Hail, J.R.R. Tolkien. Thank you. Neil Horn for $5. Hail, Gary. Hail, Gina. Keep up the great work. Hail, Gina Carano, by the way. And yes, listen, this move is going to put her in the stratosphere, and I like her as an actress. She will continue to do so, and I think someday she'll get work at another once all this bullshit passes. Some studio that really fucking hates Disney, Warner Brothers, might give her work. Somebody was talking about her being a great hawk woman. I think that would be fucking. I can't call her hawk girl. Hawk woman. I think it would be fucking awesome. Or Big Barda. But not an Ava DuVernay fucking movie written by Tom King. No thanks. But no, she's gonna make 5 times the amount of money she was making now. She's gonna make bank. You're gonna have a great year, Gina. You're gonna have a great year, and you earned every penny. She's gonna make more than Pedro. I mean, even if it's $50,000 an episode, man, which is good, but if you're in, 3 episodes with $150,000 and you get taxed on that, so it's $100,000. Make $100,000, and if that's the only show you do, if that takes up all your time and that's the only show you do, well, hairdressers make a lot more than that. We'll just say. Nicholas Horton for £5. Hail, Gary. I just wanted to say our hopes and prayers to all those in Texas and those states affected by the bad snowstorms, including Doomcock. Yeah. A lot of my brothers and sisters in Texas are shut down right now. I think I saw Carrie Smith had to wrap her dogs up, her little dogs, while she was freezing. Haven't heard from Doomcock. I haven't seen a video. Maybe one will come out today. Quarter Black's doing okay. Comics Division posted that his grocery store was empty. So Comics Division will now be sponsored by a food prepper company. By the way, a food prepper company did contact me a couple days ago for a sponsorship. Sure. Hail, Gary. It's time for Disney Now. LOL. Disney Now. Bobby Lane, thank you for the $2. Mr. Tickle Trunk. That just jumped on me. Sorry. Oh, and Star Wars fans, I mean, you're not the only ones, right? we're still dealing with Doctor Who. And it looks like that thing is falling fast, by the way. There is a lot of shit. I mean, like with all the Star Wars news, there's a massive Doctor Who story that I think Clownfish has done a video on. I'm going to do a video. It'll be out tomorrow morning. I have pre-recorded, by the way, the Super Chat square ups, and it's like 4 hours. So we're going to do an hour. We're going to release an hour at a time over the next week. Facebook? Oh yes. Brian McCann for $5 says Facebook just banned all news posts from Australia today. Facebook censored an editorial publisher platform. Facebook needs its tax breaks revoked now. Yes. Absolutely. No tax breaks for billion-dollar companies. I mean, I hate taxes anyway. I don't think they should exist. What was it? Cancel student debt was trending on Twitter the other day. I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. Cancel federal income tax, and you can cancel student debt. Totally for it. Let's compromise. You irresponsibly went to a school and took a course that doesn't pay any money, that you borrowed money for, that you signed on the dotted line for. And that, okay, so you want to be forgiven of that. Well, I don't want to pay for it. So we'll figure out something, but I mean, those, as far as I'm concerned, the universities can choke on their own debt. I don't give a shit, but, yeah, I don't want to pay federal income tax then. That's just me. Hail, Gary, here's some funds towards your 3rd and 4th monitors and hashtag boomer rescue. But P.S. I'm a Gen Xer too, so I get it. LOL. Sarah B for $2. Well, I've got 2 monitors, but the other one's over here, and it's not. I don't think I have it connected. Well, it's connected right. Believe me, I get called a boomer, but I'm like, there's shit all over the place. I've got a lot of things going. This is a self-produced show. I don't have people in the background like throwing up my articles for me. I don't know if I ever will. Well, I will when I move. I'm going to have a studio when I move, like a legit one. Pilgrim Media for $2. Hashtag boycott Disney Plus. Yeah, we could boycott. Absolutely. Do not support this. Disney validated cancel culture. They exacerbated a lie. They not only fired an employee publicly, they didn't do it to her face, and they tried to ruin her fucking career. I know there was a rumor that this was some kind of 4D chess to save her job. No, this was somebody shitting on Gina Carano, wanting to ruin her name forever to score a little more points so Disney could look a little bit better. Disney didn't think there would be this kind of blowback, and yes, we need to make them pay for it. You don't need Disney in your life. You don't. And listen, there might be people working at The Mandalorian at Lucasfilm right now who are completely innocent parties. But where does this end? Where does this end? Am I supposed to like, well, you completely fucked over Gina, but there's people I haven't heard a fucking word from who are innocent parties. I should go support these people who I haven't heard a fucking word from. Sorry, doesn't work like that. Doesn't work like that. Behind the scenes, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I have no idea what's going on. But as it stands right now, y'all look like a bunch of fucking cowards. A bunch of fucking cowards. And I don't want to hear about losing your fucking job. And I'm not talking to the crew. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking to the very established people who have probably paid for homes, who are set for the rest of their lives, who could speak up, who could stand to lose something for maybe what's right. But instead, you're allowing the big corporation to steamroll not only Gina, the next person and the next person and the next person and all of us. And I just don't want to pay for it anymore. That's just a personal decision. I don't want to give Disney money. I made the same decision about San Francisco. San Francisco crossed the line with me. I didn't want to give that city another dime of my fucking money, so I left. I picked up my entire family and I fucking left. It was very inconvenient, extremely inconvenient and costly. And it affected my kids. It's affected both of them. I have one who's been living in solitude for months because he's got to watch the house. Because we can't just pick up and leave and move somewhere instantly, you know. But it was worth it. It was worth it to not, and the family's on board, and we're all of the same mind on this. And it was, fuck this place. I'm just saying there's other jobs. That's just me speculating. But again, I can't feel sympathy or empathy for people I haven't heard from. Maybe one of y'all can find your sack and speak up for Gina. But it sounds like Kathleen Kennedy has your sack along with Bob Iger's in the top drawer of her desk. Fade in. I'm a reasonable guy, but I've just experienced some very unreasonable things. Jack Burton. Ah, yes. Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast. Thank you for the $6.65. Thank you for the donation too, man. Appreciate it. Collins Art for $5. Check out Ryan Long for some good anti-woke comedy sketches. He's fucking great. He's great. And great comedians out there right now. Ryan Long, Kyle Dunnigan, Kurt fucking Metzger. Kurt Metzger is brilliant. It's a Gundam. I talked to Chrissy Meyer on the Quartering stream. She's fucking funny. And she's on Compound Media. I am a proud subscriber of Compound Media, by the way. I'm a huge Anthony Cumia fan. Big fan of his work. You know what? Opie and Anthony were up against Howard for a long time, and they were considered second fiddle. And now as things have played out, turns out that Anthony was the most hardcore of them all and has all my respect now. All my respect. Check out, Ryan Long. We played some Ryan Long. We're going to play a lot of that on Friday Night Tights. 8-inch Mego Hulk for Australian $7.99. I stood up to an institutionally supported incompetent narcissist boss before, and it was a hell of a I'll start that over. I stood up to an institutionally supported incompetent narcissist boss before, and it was hell for 2 years. Gina is absolutely inspiring. Yes. When I was working my way back up after I had relapsed and had to sell my business and I had to go work jobs, I never thought I'd work again as an adult, to work my way back into getting a better job, which eventually ended up at Tesla and then here. But I started at the lowest of the low. I worked at an O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Then I went to this German car shop owned by this giant trust fund douchebag. And he hired all his buddies there. And apparently he wanted to experiment with the parts guy, but he didn't want to commit to it. So he hired me. And then he paid me under the table at first, but it was supposed to all be taxed. We had a verbal agreement that I would be taxed, right? Well, he never set it up. And then he ratted me out to the government, right? After he said he was going to pay my taxes, right? So I ended up paying the government. The government contacted me. I didn't know what the fuck happened. So at the time I had no fucking money, but I paid it off. And while I was working there, this is in San Francisco. It was a Advanced Auto Works. Advanced Auto Works. I don't know if it's still there. I think it moved location. A couple of the guys still work there. Dropped the N-word like it was a pronoun all the time. It was the most racist place I've ever worked at. It was fucking awful. There was a gay couple there. They were clowning the gay couple in the waiting room. They're like making, I mean, like straight up, like, I'm like, damn. Worst fucking place I ever worked. Oh, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. I tried to set up their parts department, and I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. It was such a miserable place to work. But I needed the job. I needed the income. I needed it. But I put up with it as long as I can, and then until I didn't. And then the same thing happened to Tesla too. There was a guy I didn't like there. He didn't like me. He was fucking with me. He started fucking with me, and I didn't put up with it for very long. And that happens. It happens. I've also worked at some great places, the job I had here in Escondido, fucking had the best boss in the world. Terry Edwards, was a great man. I've had some great bosses too. Absolute brilliant bosses. Mike at Toyota, he was pretty cool guy. Have you seen Gabe Newell's recent video on Brian computer interface work? No. There will be no competition to this. Hollywood will be dead in 10 years. I don't know about 10 years, Torgo the White, and I will watch that. Thank you. But it will be dead. Hollywood will be dead. It's as I said in my description, they are already in decline. And a lot of the institutions that they relied on are gone. The institution of the movie star, which used to drive people to the theater, gone. There's no actor that you can put into a movie that's going to guarantee major box office. There's two directors left, and both of their stars are not as shining as brightly as they were before. Let's be real. While I still respect Quentin Tarantino and Nolan, I just don't know. They might be the last two great directors. Everything is producer driven now. Marvel has their movies pre-made, and then a director comes in, but it's like cookie cutter. It's yeah. Oh my God, the Eternals is going to be such a hot fucking mess. The Real Monkey Rogue says, this isn't new. We've been storytellers to one another forever. Every family has one. The medium has shifted. That's what I was talking about, though. Real Monkey is the medium. And this is absolutely new as far as what we are doing here together on a regular basis. This isn't just sitting around a campfire and telling stories. This is personalities interacting directly for entertainment. I don't know about you guys, but I used to wake up in the morning and fire up the news or fire up ESPN back in the day, or watch Attack of the Show that I DVR'd. Now I get up in the morning and I watch a YouTube video while I'm, getting the fog out of my brain, drinking a little cup of coffee. And, yesterday was Ryan Kinnell. Today was Yellow Flash. Who knows what tomorrow will be? And I watch everybody's videos. Got to know what's going on. It's good. But you're right. We've been telling each other stories forever. Stories are never going to go away. The way Hollywood is selling them, though, is movie theaters have seen their even the staunchest defenders of movie theaters are recognizing that they're done. They're done. Now, is it done? No, but you're not going to have thousands upon thousands of movie theaters out there. There will be internationally, but here in the States, that habit has been broken. We got Nick Nero for $4.99 says, hats where? Take my monies. Again, that was the name of that hat place is here. I need to, you got to go to my Instagram. Melissa shared it on the Instagram. Hardtack Haberdashery. Hardtack Haberdashery. Thanks, Nick Nero. Tiro Lanin Can I borrow some DVDs and figures? I heard you got them. Yes. But they're quite dangerous. We're some of the most dangerous people. But I have recently acquired some DVDs and some plastic figurines. I need to be put on a government watch list, obviously. Shinkin Red 83. All of the men in the picture Gina posted are globalists like George Soros. Yep. If you want to know what we're talking about, it was from BB&C. Somebody tweeted, Sheila Alien tweeted some guy from Red something radio, who I guess was some Chicago talk show host. And he's like a Phil Hendry edgelord. I don't know what the fuck he is. He drinks whiskey and he put us up and he said some not nice things. And then I looked into him, right? And I don't know if it's some kind of shtick or whatever. We're going to go over it on Friday Night Tights. We'll discuss it there. I'll save it for that. CZ for 10 pounds. Gina wasn't canceled for anti-Semitism pick. It was political. In the one Gina posted, it shows Leader Biden, Dear Leader Jinping, Dear Leader George Soros, some of Kathleen's favorite people. Yeah, she was canceled for her politics, CZ. You're right. She was canceled for her political opinion. That is no doubt about it. And you don't have to agree with the opinion. I'm not asking you to. I'm just asking you to be human and know where lines should not be crossed. And firing somebody for their political beliefs, especially when her co-stars are saying much worse. Her co-stars have attacked fans. Pablo Hidalgo attacked Disney Star Wars's biggest fan as far as like bringing people to your brand, to your product. I can't think of anybody better than Star Wars Theory. And he attacked them. Pablo still works there. Now, again, I don't know shit. I don't have people behind the scenes. Nobody's reached out to me ever when it comes to this production of Mandalorian. I have heard from other places that Pedro's a bit of a pain in the ass on the set. Now, that was over Kingsman. Yeah, I don't know if he's still around or not, but I know that they were bigoted when they fired Gina. It's political bigotry. It is. And the thing is, it's because they've allowed a narrative to run for so long that they either believe it or they have to capitulate to it. And Disney has allowed this because they own ABC. They own one of the big news agencies, and they've helped push this bullshit. You know, I don't watch ABC. I don't watch ESPN. I think the only Disney connected thing I have right now is Hulu, and the Orville is on Hulu. And the minute the Orville is not on Hulu, I'm off Hulu. Fat Steven Seagal for 2 Canadian pesos. Met Anthony Schaefer yesterday. He watches you and us. Oh, shit. No way. Tell him I said, what's up? Hey, we got a shout out from Barnes, too. That was cool. Kathy B for $4.99. Perhaps a new hashtag for KK should be hashtag cancel Twitter. Well, Twitter helped take out Parler. I don't know how happy they are that it's back. Az and I had planned on leaving Twitter because it got so foul. But then, you know, when we saw them take out another platform, it's like, what the fuck? So I'm still reassessing on that one. But I don't know. I'm of a mind, don't run. Just be everywhere. Be everywhere. Why are my beep bops so controversial? Hashtag Hail Gina says, I beep, I bop, I boop for £2. Well, beep bops can be controversial to those who fear the beep bops. Michael Geringer, welcome to I thank you for upgrading to the Jaloja membership. I greatly appreciate it. Gareth Nail for 20 pounds. Disney won't be getting any more of my money. Keep up the great content. Good. Vote with your fucking wallet. No, I'm not buying any hot toys directly. I went to Sideshow. I canceled. I had 2 Daredevils on order. Canceled them. I'll just wait and get them secondhanded. I was going to get a 1/6 scale Sideshow Daredevil and a Shadowland Daredevil, which looked fucking awesome. Canceled it. I didn't buy any Star Wars stuff anyway. I got all the Gina stuff secondhand. Sideshow does the Gina statue is still available. They're not canceling that. The problem is you're buying something from Star Wars. So I will just buy that one secondhand. If I get it at all. I'm terrible with statues. Red Wolf Corp revamped for $10. I'm interested in going to SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay in May. SeaWorld has Mako and Manta, while Busch has the Iron Gwazi and Kumba. They are 4 of the best coasters of their kind out there. Oh, well, shit, I'll go. I love a good coaster. We've got, we've got Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain's brilliant. I don't need to go to Disneyland. I can go on the Revolution, Colossus, and I don't know what they've changed. It used to be Superman, then the Batman coaster, but I haven't been there in a decade. I like a good coaster. IK 1906 for $5. Dude, did you see the animated Aquaman abomination produced by James Wan? Bounding into Comics reported it, and the cringe was so very, very real. No, let's. How long ago was that? Oh, alleged first look at James Wan's produced Aquaman King of Atlantis animation miniseries looks atrocious. Oh, fuck. You are fucking kidding me. Oh. This has got to be a joke. It's Cal Tech Arts again. Look at the fucking shit. Yeah, art is dead, folks. I mean, everything is ugly. And you know why they like this animation? It's cheap as fuck. It's cheap to, you don't have to put a lot of work in this garbage. And people went to school for this. You know what? I bet you the asshole who drew this probably wants me to forgive his student fucking debt. No. Like, that's awesome. That's good. That's good. But it's this shit. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I'll be skipping that. James Wan produced that, huh? Yeah, I highly doubt it. I highly fucking doubt it. That's just fucking terrible. Yeah, we need to start making our own shit, folks. Because it won't be long until we're much better. Goat Art Bazaar for $5. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Slip and Jimmy. I suggest we all slip, fall, and sue Disney parks for millions. Hashtag cancel Disney. Hey, Disneyland's not going to be full capacity until 2022. And Disney supported people like Gavin Newsom, and I don't think they supported I don't know if they supported the governor in Florida or not. But Disney World will be open at full capacity before Disneyland, and Florida's COOF numbers are much lower than ours. Much lower. Maybe because their governor isn't, going to $1,000 plate restaurants without his mask on after locking down everybody on the taxpayer's dime. Meredith Glassberg for $5. Gina did a sit-down interview with Shapiro that will be posted on YouTube 2/21, but it is available for subscribers. There you go. Thank you, Meredith Ginsburg. Gina, get on YouTube. Get on YouTube. Like now. You don't have to do it every day. Do a little something once a week. It'd be fucking huge. It'd be huge. Sith Cake for $5. Decline is not just a river in Egypt. You're right. Sith Cake for $5. Absolutely. M Tax Shark for $1.99. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Brian Sink. M Tax Shark's always giving a thumbs up. Brian Sink for £2. Hey, Gary, I just looked at Odyssey and it's woke as hell. No, that's not the same Odyssey. Brian Sink. It's Odyssey spelled Odyssee. Odyssey, not actual Odyssey. Here, I'll show you. And I'm looking for format. So I'm not looking for something that's exclusively just right wing. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somewhere where I can post whatever the fuck I want without blowback, and I don't have to worry about shit. I also want to see UFO videos and weird shit, and I want people to have weird shit, and we can decide for ourselves what's fake news, what isn't, what people are full of shit. Listen, there's a guy named David Wilcock out there selling that there's bases on fucking Mars and people are being de-aged. I want him to do that. He makes money doing it. Good. If people want to give him money for doing that, fucking good. Good. I support him. I don't believe him. I think he's full of shit, but I don't want him gone. We're all adults, because when does it end? Okay. Oh, we don't want him on there because people are giving him money. Well, when is it going to get to a point where you're going to go, we'll tell you how to spend your money now because you're not smart enough to know where to spend it. We already have big tech suppressing a lot of content. Nick Rekieta was talking about this last night on his live stream. The New York Times bestseller list is fake. If it was real, it would be filled with people like Cernovich and others that they keep off the list. So that's not organic anymore. It's not real. They fuck with every kind of number. After, you know what? I wasn't sure before. I'm absolutely positive now that Captain Marvel was a fake number. That movie didn't make that much money. They were finagling with tickets. I absolutely believe that happened now. After the bullshit I have seen over the last year. Everything is compromised. Absolutely everything. If you are connected in any way to Hollywood, to the corporate machine, it's now too costly not to be compromised. They can't have people thinking freely out there. They'll give you the illusion of it, but they can't. So, I mean, like, it probably made most of its money, but I'm sure there was a lot of fudging going on. A lot of, I got a word for it, fortifying. They fortified Captain Marvel. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's got a good format. I don't know if they have live streaming or not. But I'm setting it up today. I'm done with BitChute. My focus will always be YouTube. The live streams will always be on YouTube. But you got like, if something looks like a legit competitor, I definitely like the format. I do. I'll let you guys know when I'm up and over there. As far as it's woke or not, if it's woke, but it lets me say what I want, I don't give a shit. I personally don't give a shit if the company is woke. Fucking YouTube's woke. But if they let me say what I want, I'm fine. I don't think generally if you are it isn't about woke anymore. It's about authoritarianism. It's about authoritative fucking sources. That bullshit. That's the stuff we need to fight. So we'll see. We'll see if it's my guess is it becomes a big enough competitor. It gets bought out. Something happens. Every couple of years, they try to roll out a YouTube competitor. I hope it sticks. No, that's good. Because worst case scenario, YouTube changes and does something right. Okay. Mags, welcome to the memberships. I appreciate it, Mags. She's a member of the proto-molecule level. Montreal fanboy for 5 Canadian pesos. Hail, Gary. Memphis and Ben Shapiro will be the new Hollywood, the new wave of small budget cult movies like we lived through in the 80s. So exciting. I that does sound exciting. As long as it doesn't get infiltrated like Austin. Like I would never move to Austin. Sorry, Austin. I know there's a lot of great people in Austin, but like I'd be like moving to San Francisco again. No thanks. Douglas Nelson for $5. Is it possible Kennedy is still leaving Lucasfilm, but that firing of Carano is her way of burning it all down on the way out? It's possible. I don't think she's leaving though. Not now. There were some people saying her contract, and I don't know if that was right or not, was going to run out in January and February. No, it runs out, I guess, in September. Nobody knows. She was re-signed in September a few years ago. 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, we've got Kathleen Kennedy gone this year. Alex Kurtzman's contract runs out next year. But Douglas, my personal belief is the very tops at all of these corporations are fake woke as hell. They're fake woke. They don't actually believe. They're fake people, though. They're fake, vapid, hollow people. I still imagine Bob Iger like Brick Tamlin in fucking Ron Burgundy. That's what I think Bob Iger is. I just think there's no personality there. He's just like an auton that people control. Kathleen Kennedy grew up in Berkeley. I think she is genuinely woke as fuck. But she's a limousine liberal. A not in my backyard kind of person. Grew up in up in the Bay Area. I know what kind of ilk that creates. And I think everybody under her needs to act that way or they're gone. It sounds like she's petty. She doesn't run a tight ship. So I just don't see them being able to beat her. I don't think there's actual factions. I think there's people who might not agree with her. That's about it. But the only option those people have is to leave. I don't think they're going to actually override her on anything. But yeah. I suspected that article yesterday from the Hollywood Reporter stating sources saying that it was an executive. I think that came from Jon Favreau people. And that is just my belief. That is speculation. I don't know that for a fact. But if somebody wanted to maybe not look responsible, there's been a narrative out there that Jon Favreau goes directly to Bob Iger or whatever. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy gets involved in day-to-day creativity, period. But if you're really that upset, speak your mind. Like I said, I can't find it in my heart to be sympathetic to the silent on this issue. Michael Tynan for $15. Hail, Gary. That is all. Hail to you. Now, I don't want to bring down a bunch of anger or anything on Favreau. I don't know the guy. I don't know the guy. He was doing a decent job with the Mandalorian. And like I said in my video, he must be the fucking completely frustrated right now. But he could change that. Sure he could. I think he's got that kind of pull. I think he's got all the pull right now. He's the one guy who did something right with Disney Star Wars. Consistently. 2 seasons in a row didn't piss off the majority of fandoms. That's a win. That's a win. So I think he's got all kinds of juice. But what do I know? Talons of Wang Chang for £1.99. Disney Star Wars. Fade in. China. Yes. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see if we can hear from Kathleen Kennedy real quick. No, we don't want that. We want this.
Fade in.
Oh, I've got a song set up for you later. Hang on.
Fade in.
I was going to play it at the beginning, but I kind of chickened out. I didn't want a guy. I hope a punk rock band wouldn't hit me with a copyright strike. That would be very disappointing, especially one that I grew up loving. So we'll have that towards the end. Chris from Michigan for $7. Hey, Gary, I love your videos. Here's $7. It was earmarked for Disney Plus, but through their actions, they've shown me they don't want it. Oh, why, thank you. And yeah, they've shown us all that they don't want our money. There's a lot of people who agree, well, half the country agree with Gina Carano and her sentiments. There was a lot of evidence that her warning has already happened in some cases, and it's going to get worse. Kevin Ian Common for $10. Hail, guitar pedals companies are what? Guitar pedals companies are now woke? Screw that. I learned electronics and now I build my own pedals. Tired of being told by my white liberal friends that I need them to advise on life. Yeah, Kevin, if that's true, their pedals are easy to make. They're absolutely easy to make, and people started out making their own shit. Be like Jack White. He makes his own guitars. I got a pedal. Hang on. Well, I got a wah pedal. Hang on. It's a little dusty. This is my crybaby. A little wah pedal. Jesus, that was dusty. If they're woke now, I am not surprised. What was it? Metal getting woke for a little while too. Red Lion for $10 Australian. Hail, Gary. Thank you for doing what you do. The voice for all of us that are still trying to believe in pop culture. P.S. Star Wars is dead. Yeah, Star Wars is dead. Disney blackpilled it. I didn't. I wasn't going back, but I was absolutely willing to give them to be open-minded. I was, because of Gina Carano and Jon Favreau. But deals off. I don't care. I don't care. Erase it. Retcon it. Flush it down the fucking toilet. I don't care. Anything short of firing Kathleen Kennedy and putting Favreau in charge. I don't know if he'd even want that. He seems like a guy who likes to make stuff, create stuff. And if you're in charge of all that shit, you're just in an office. It doesn't sound fun. But maybe that's what he wants. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of wish he'd go back to Marvel. Or maybe go to DC. Willowy 13 for 5 rubles. Crazy Kathleen is the bitter woman that fired another woman whose character was more popular than her own screen representation, Rey Palpatine. True. Absolutely true. That was self-inserted fucking fanfic right there. And the one, the farce is female, and that farce is Kathleen Kennedy. Gina Carano personified everything that company supposedly wanted, and now they showed the entire world that they're hypocrites and they're full of shit. And it's not going well for them. They wanted this news cycle to be dead by now. They did. They wanted the fandom menace to get their yayas out over the weekend, and then we'd be done. We're not fucking done. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Malcolm Fuller, the only way to save Star Wars now is to fire Kathleen Kennedy publicly and sell back Lucasfilm to George for $1. Yes. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Bellow Triggerfish for $5. Gina Carano going to get interviewed on Sunday by Ben Shapiro in the Daily Wire, according to their Twitter. Yes. I guess there's going to be an interview. It'll be available to Daily Wire subscribers on the 20th, and then it'll be available on YouTube on the 21st, which is day after tomorrow for the subscriber one. Good. Not another dime. Thank you for the $1.99 and the thumbs up. Now I'm going to go to donations real quick. No, we're fucking not done talking about Gina. For one, it was dying down until Kathleen Kennedy decided to, I don't know if she decided to put the video up that day, but the Oscars, and to show you how inept the old institutions are with the new ones, you've all seen the virtual Comic Cons, right? We've seen the Star Trek convention, which was a fucking total disaster. We saw Comic-Con, which was a total disaster. The biggest Comic-Con in the world did the most amateur bullshit on their fucking YouTube channel. The con gets 250,000 people going, and it could get more. That caps at that. And they did amateur hack bullshit on their YouTube channel. Star Trek, CBS just put up a Zoom call, a fucking Zoom call for their Star Trek. I mean, you're seeing the Oscars threw up 100 videos at once. The Comic-Con did that too. I hate to give them unsolicited advice. You can't do that. It's very bad for the algorithm. You need to drop one video, and if you make it public, and even if it's a mistake and you pull it out, you do not put another video up for 2 hours. 2 hours. Fucking YouTube. The reason the Batwoman video was late was my channel. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my channel, but it's taking an hour to 2 hours to get my shit monetized now when it used to take 10 seconds. So I don't know if I'm caught in some kind of fucking bad behavior loop or what. I don't think so. I just think it's a glitch. But that's why the video came out late. But yeah, you can't do that. But it shows you how inept Hollywood is with just YouTube, just fucking YouTube, which means they're fucked. They're fucked. They're so old school. We're watching them die. They're in decline. It's not going to happen overnight, folks. But listen, Cloudfish, yours truly, many others said the comic book industry is fucking dead. And for the longest time, we were told we were being just hyperbolic until it actually happened. Did it happen sooner than even I thought it would? Yes. Same thing's happening to Hollywood. I still think Hollywood was in decline, and the movie ticket sales over the last few years prove that. But, and I'm not talking about amount, I'm talking about actual tickets sold based on theaters, adjusted for inflation. The Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. Oh, what's up for $13.96? He's always good for a very interesting super chat. Kathleen Kennedy is more talented than someone that's got chucked out of 3 high schools. Plus, Kathleen Kennedy is not racist. The fandom menace is sexist and racist because you lot hate Brie and Kathleen Kennedy and support Gina, who is anti-masker, Trump supporter, and an anti-Semitic. Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews is a bit of a troll. He always does stuff like that. So thank you for the $13.96. No, Kathleen Kennedy's not very talented, it turns out. I make a much better cup of coffee than Kathleen Kennedy. Thank you very fucking much. I do. What is she talented at? Well, she's not a very talented speaker. Fade in. But yeah, Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. It's good to see you back. It's good to see you back. A Phoenix Tangent. Hail, Gary. Feeling warm again in Texas. Lost power for 24 hours, but I'm glad you delayed the nooner to today. Yeah, I almost fired it up at like 11:30 last night, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm too tired. I wanted to be fresh. Well, all the talk about recasting with Lucy Lawless. No, Lucy Lawless is like 60 years old. The Daily Wire should purchase the Xena Warrior Princess rights from Universal and do some co-production with them and remake the show with Gina Carano as Xena. Yes. Yes. Oh my fucking God. Yes. Morally, or is it Morality 124 for $9.99. Yes. On the Inquisition last Sunday, I don't know if Doomcox reposted it or not. On his if you look for the link, it's still active. It's just unlisted. I talked about that. I thought Disney would recast the role. I absolutely do. I think they're that petty. And maybe that was squashed on the Jon Favreau level, maybe because that was denied from the source in the Hollywood Reporter article yesterday that I believe the source is from Jon Favreau. That's just what I believe. So, yeah. I could be wrong about all of my beliefs. This is pure speculation, by the way. Again, I kind of respect that young journalists are actually fessed up and admitted she made a mistake about Gina and reached out to you in your Twitter and comment section. She should have not spread the false info about Gina, but at least she owned up to it. Well, I didn't see the reaction. If she did, that's good. Retract it and we are cool. That's it. Mistakes are made, but the problem is you don't research that stuff. You put it out there. It gets repeated and repeated. And then that does harm Gina Carano's career, which is what they want to do. They want to harm her career. Cancel Disney Plus is not any that it's pretty hardcore to do that. It is. And it's pretty hardcore to push that. But none of you want to actually work in Hollywood. I don't ever want to work in Hollywood. I have no desire. I have no desire. If one of them called me tomorrow, offered me all the money in the world, the answer would be fuck no. I am actually very happy where I'm at, very comfortable where I'm at. Now, if another company called and offered me like a Spotify thing, and they offered me $100 million, okay, yeah, sure, I'd have to take that. But that would never happen. It's never going to happen, and that's fine. So I don't mind pissing them off. I don't. That's why it was so refreshing to see Gina do her thing, and I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to say the shit I'm going to say. I don't want to be compromised by friendships or anything. I was already pretty horribly compromised with the boys because my best friend co-created it. One of my best friends. He probably hasn't been very happy with my views on season 2, though, because I think it sucked. But I love the comic book. I love the comic book. Agram for $10. I think Tom McDonald sober would I'm trying to, it's God, I hate how they separate this. This is kind of hard to read this because they separate words. I think Tom McDonald sober would touch close to home for you, Gary. Keep rocking. Yeah, if he's sober, that's good. That's very, very good. Yeah, I would definitely talk to Tom McDonald. I think we talked about getting him on Friday Night Tights. We'll try. If he says yeah, I mean, fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I liked his fake woke. It was good. Fade in. Before Disney Plus opened, they offered 3 years of service for $440. Last week, I canceled and demanded a refund. I was expecting to get a prorated, seeing that I used the service it started. The rep gave it all back to me. Well, damn. Good. Good. Listen, if they want to continue with good, if you want to be honorable and you want to have good customer service, be consistent. And I don't want you to fire Pedro Pascal. I don't want you to fire Christina Ariel. I didn't want you to fire James Gunn. I would like Disney to rehire Roseanne Barr, and I would like them to rehire Gina Carano and let her say whatever the fuck she wants. Because everybody else in Hollywood's allowed to say it. They are. The only person I have ever called to be fired for their treatment of customers was Pablo Hidalgo. And I kind of had to be talked into that. I would love Alex Kurtzman to be fired, but not forever. I don't want him to not have a career. Go make Clarice. Go make 10 Clarice shows. Just get off of Star Trek. But Kathleen Kennedy, yeah, I think, I'll tell you this way. Again, I wouldn't even consider Star Wars until she's gone. Isn't it nice that when Movie Bob calls for the arrest of everyone who differs from him, gives that radio guy you watched on the real BBC a run for his money? Yeah, Movie Bob, Cinema Roberto is, don't think he's doing that well right now. Don't think he's doing that well. According to Disney, women are all owed. According to Disney, women who are all owed to have opinions so long as they match what Daddy Disney says. Oh, they're allowed to have opinions. Okay. God, they separate words here. According to Disney, women are allowed to have opinions so long as they match with Daddy Disney's. Otherwise, be silent like a good girl, says Agent Rude for $5. Like a good little girl. Hail, Gary. Adult Pretender and SJWs are like Cinderella's stepsisters. They have everything: wealth, position, favor. But they had to destroy what their sister had because jealousy and dissatisfaction with themselves planted and fed roots of bitterness and envy, I will add, and envy. And these are all things that lead to self-destruction. Self-destruction. Fury of the Whovians. When? Count me in. Hashtag still fuming. Will Gentry for £2. I'll talk to Bulls Trek and Az and see if we'll get Svi on there, and we'll see when we can do it again. We'll pick out a date. For $10, Crow T Robot from Satellite of Love. I'm no longer a Disney Plus subscriber. Hail Gina, hail Gary, and hail to you. Good. I showed you how to do it at the end of my canceled Gina video. Favreau could be protected. Favreau could have protected Gina. He had the power to say no. We've turned into two groups. Those who tell others how to think and those who let others think how they will. Says Jabo Jr. for $10. Jon Favreau might disagree. Jon Favreau might be a good guy. As by all accounts, he is a good guy. I've got nothing against the guy personally. Jon Favreau has the power to change this narrative. He has the power to change this narrative, but by not saying anything, he is allowing the next person to get canceled and the person after that and the person after that. And yeah, it could really fuck up The Mandalorian and fuck up his work on The Mandalorian. And everybody would come down on Gina, but it was Disney who fired Gina. It was Disney who fired Gina. Disney has been coming at fans and supporting their employees, Access Media, who have been attacking our fans. Disney has fed false narratives about fandoms, and now Gina Carano. And the more people don't do anything, the more it will continue. I can call it out. Listen, it's easy for me to call it out. It is. John's in a bit of a pickle right now. Jon Favreau's in a big of a pickle. Either he doesn't give a fuck or he feels like his hands are tied. They're not. If they got rid of Jon Favreau, it'd be over. Then it'd be over. Kiss Disney goodbye. That's what kind of power Jon Favreau has right now. They would hand it off to Dave Filoni, who is a cartoon guy. Sorry, cartoon guy. You know what Jon Favreau brings to Star Wars? Masculinity. That's right, masculinity. Disney bought Star Wars to get boys back. They bought Star Wars and Marvel to get boys back because it was looked at as a girls' company, which it was. So what did they do when they get the boys stuff? They emasculate the shit out of it because it's a girls' company. So Jon Favreau brought some balls back into Star Wars. Star Wars was missing its balls. He brought Star Wars balls back, but Kathleen Kennedy just put those balls in check. Yes, she did. Crazy Cat Guy for $7. Please take my Disney Plus money and put it to some good use. I will put it towards calling out bullshit like this some more. It helps fund it. Thank you. Mr. Tickle Trunk for 2 Canadian pesos. Hashtag Gary missed my super chat. Hashtag supporting anyway. I just got distracted. I miss a lot of super chats, buddy. I do. But they all get read in the square up. So they all eventually do get read. Latino Slant. First rule of Fight Club. You almost did it, Paulie. You almost did it, buddy. Mr. Tickle Trunk, I'm going back and looking for it, buddy. Because I know I started reading it and then I stopped. Lethal Lightning. Seen the MK trailer? It looks like a loose adaptation, but badass fights. What are your thoughts? Oh, and hashtag the Snyder Cut, baby. Biggest fan. Win to happen. Lethal. Lethal. So there's a Moon Knight trailer. I mean, Marvel. I'm sorry, it's Mortal Kombat. See, I'm gonna think Moon Knight. I saw the Marvel, the Mortal Kombat trailer, and it looked fucking amazing. It looked fucking badass, absolute badass, fun. That's all we need is fun, and I loved it. And it also had the Batman from. He played Batman in Gotham, but just from the back. He was also in. God, what else was he in? Silicon Valley. He played one of the tech bros. I'm live. What you need? Oh. Hang on a second. Hang on just a second. What? Excuse me one moment. I'm getting a shake. Okay. But yeah, Mortal Kombat trailer looked, thanks, love. You're the best. Bringing me my little healthy smoothies. That's good. Yeah, the Mortal Kombat trailer looks fucking awesome. I keep seeing MK, I think Moon Knight. Sorry, I'm a comic book fan. I don't mean this in a bad way, but your live streams help me sleep at night, says Scottish Heathen for £5. I don't take that at all as an insult. That is the highest praise, because I go to sleep to other people's radio shows, and if people are going to sleep to me, that's fulfilling a life's dream. Hail, Gary. Thank you, Scottish Heathen. Hail, Gary. Can't wait for your Amazon Lord of the Rings breakdowns. Do you feel encouraged with the casting of Russell Crowe, Elendil, or Air Farazan possible? I thought it was going to be Durin. I think he's going to be Durin. That's what I heard. But if he ends up being like a king in Numenor, that'd be cool too. Did you see the House of the Dragon casting? We'll get to that in just a second. NJ Scoundrel. As a long-time Compound Media subscriber, I would love to see you and Anthony have a chat. You have a lot of crossover interest. You should contact him. I'll try. I would fucking... Oh, that'd be awesome talking to him. Observer Life. No interest in the subject at all, but love this show. You are so on the ball. You tell them, mate. I will. Thank you. Oh, I'll reach out to Anthony Cumia. I guess he doesn't have a Twitter. I was looking for his Twitter. WG for $10. Gary, I heard you and Az recommend pineapple on pizza the other night. This is just as bad as recommending Gary Glitter on as a babysitter. All jokes aside, great work, man. Yeah, I eat pineapple on pizza. I'm from California. I was fucking raised on it. It's okay. You throw some bacon on it and some olives and some green peppers and I just don't eat that nasty fish that's on it. That's some nasty shit. Tim Ovaskonen, welcome to the Proto Molecule level. I appreciate it. This is a good one. And thank you to the welcome to the memberships. Yes. Daniel Nolan for $5. This is a friend of mine. This is a homeboy. He lives a few blocks away from my house in San Francisco. He shopped at my store. He's the reason I had my store. His dad told me that the shop was for sale, that I eventually bought. So Daniel Nolan is a pivotal guy in my life. For $5, he says, what do you think about San Francisco Police Department saying they'll cut $60 million off the budget, which will result in 600 officers fired? Crime is bad in San Francisco. Daniel, get out. Daniel, get out. I don't know if you can, buddy, but get out. I know you're like a born and raised San Franciscan and you're one of the good ones. But it makes me feel very good about my decision, and I want to sell my house before that actually happens. Before my house is worthless. Be safe, Daniel, okay? Thinking about you, buddy. What's up, Brad, man? Little Semper Fi there. I'm pretty sure Tom McDonald said his song being taken off on iTunes was his fault and an error he made. Okay, good. All right. For $5. Today's issues are from the communists taking the time to grow their communities over 40 years and strategically placing them in all media and schools. You are, Brad, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, buddy. And it's taken all this time for people to start recognizing it. It has. It's taken a lot of time. God, Mr. Tickle Trunk, I'm gonna have to read it on a square up. I can't find it. I'm sorry, buddy. But I'll read it on the square up. I'll try one more time. So I remember seeing it earlier. What's up, Will Gentry? Yeah. I just got to get my shit together when it comes to this integrating the Streamlabs stuff. There is one place I can look at everything, and I will eventually do that. So, shout out to Enter the Unfamiliar with Final Death Star from the great Jane Theory for $5. Thank you, Jane Theory. Shout out to them. Welcome to the Jaloja level 72 Zonk. 13 new members today. That's fucking brilliant. We've also got 3,000 likes. Holy shit. Really? That's great, people. That's great. All right. I'm going to have to go. I got to go. I can go for a few more minutes. The rest of it will be cleared up on a square up. The first one will be out. Part 1 will be out tomorrow. Again, it's 4 parts. I'm going to be gaming tonight on Geeks and Gamers on their, I think it's on their members channel or whatever. If you're a member over at Geeks and Gamers, I'm going to be playing Among Us with the crew. There is a Doctor Who video in the works that will be out soon about Russell T Davies coming out and saying that the BBC is heading for oblivion, and he's not wrong. So how does that affect Doctor Who? Well, you're hearing a lot. There's a ton of rumors out there, and I'll just say that there has been no new doctor picked. And that I know of. And they don't know what they're going to do. They're losing money left and right. They're heading for a financial calamity. Now you'll hear rumors like Doctor Who's going to get sold. The BBC will not sell Doctor Who unless the BBC was sold. They could license it out, though. They could certainly license it out. That's not going to save Doctor Who. It's just not. You're going to hear a lot of stuff, and a lot of it might be interesting, but Doctor Who's pretty fucked right now. It's pretty fucked. There is a way to fix it, but it's not a way BBC would, it's not a road they would go down. Andre Fernandez, hey, Gary, please take my pesos. It was between you and OnlyFans. Do you think the apocalyptic Batman pairing with Joker could be a great idea? I'll die to see the movie. Can we get a return to Batfleck? I fucking loved it. I absolutely loved. I loved that part of the trailer, and I would see an entire movie like that. I can't fucking wait. I hope we get a 1/6 scale Joker like that, and a Dark Side, and a Black Superman. I hope we get it all. I don't know if we will. But yeah, I am honestly, the Snyder Cut trailer is the most positive thing out there. Is Falcon and Winter Soldier didn't look terrible, but it looked boring, and it's Disney. So my enthusiasm with them is gone. WandaVision, not in a hurry to review it. I got nothing against it. Marvel's a separate entity. I mean, it's still under Disney, but it's It's got its own problems coming. 72 Zog for $50 says, honored to now be a member. Also, thank you for being such a good representation of sobriety, humility, and gratitude in an age when that has been forgotten. Props to your 12-step example for all of us. Hashtag today is enough. Hashtag progress, not perfection. And that's what I strive for, and that's what we should strive for. I will end it on this. Resetting pronouns and the pronouners, the fucking pronouners out there. The pronouners who are on Twitter, who tweet multiple times a day and wanted Gina Carano to comply, want all of us to comply. And the reason we cannot comply is because they're weaponizing language. This is not about trans issues. If you refuse to put pronouns in your bio, you are not denying the existence of an individual who is trans. We have trans people in this chat. I have trans members on the channel. I have trans people in my life. And I could tell you, the ones who are of sound mind and body, who feel like they've made a proper decision in their lives to be themselves, they are free of the cage of self-doubt, insecurity, worrying about what other people say. That's a confident and healthy human being who does not wake up in the morning and give a fuck about somebody using their pronouns towards them or not. And it does massive damage to your cause. What they're doing on Twitter does massive, because now it's making people pissed off. And now people aren't going to use pronouns on purpose because we're being told. Americans don't like being told what to fucking do. Although I used to think that until the last year. I'm kind of not thinking that much anymore. But a lot of us don't like being told what to do. And our natural reaction is to do the opposite when we're done that, whether it's rational or not. But let me tell you about pronouns. Again, I was on your fucking side. I'm an independent person. I think live and let live. You do you. You love who you want as long as they're of age and they consent. And you live how you want as long as you're not hurting anybody or encroaching on somebody else's life. And we can all live together in peace because most of the shit, we have everything in common, right? We just want to live a peaceful life. We want to be happy. We want our families to be happy. The political differences, the religious differences, she just said it in that article. Okay, we disagree on gay marriage. So what? So fucking what? Who gives a shit? But now this, like, you have to agree with absolutely everything I say. You must comply. So it went from tolerate to obey. Well, I'm not going to fucking obey. So I used to be very, very, very sympathetic to your cause. If you came up to me and asked me nicely to use proper pronouns, I would. I will tell you right now, if you ask me nicely to put pronouns in my bio, I won't. Well, I did, but it's clowning them. I won't because of this issue. It's compliance. I will not comply. They are weaponizing language. That's the only thing it's there for. It's not done out of empathy. It's not done to try to bring identity or acceptance to trans people. It's done to shame people. It's done to attack. It's done out of hate. So fuck your pronouns. I've been using my pronouns for 50 years now. My pronouns are just as important to me. So I'll use whatever ones I like now. Don't even bother asking because that time has passed. And if Gina, so it turns out Gina was fired over the boop bop. That's what started it. The boop bop beep, the fucking pronouners. So they bent the knee to a couple hundred people on Twitter. And that's all it is. It's a couple hundred people who tweet a lot. So my sympathy is gone now for that. And that's unfortunate to the cause. And there's a lot more people like that too. Now, I'm not going to take that out on individuals who identify as trans. I can't validate or invalidate you as a human being. I don't have that power. Nobody does. Only you do. Only you can validate yourself. Only you can feel comfortable in your skin. And if you're looking for that validation through somebody putting pronouns in their bio, or need to identify with somebody in a comic book or a movie, and you're over the age of 7, you're never going to get that identification. You're never going to get people to validate you. You will never feel validated. You will never feel confident. You will never feel secure in your own skin. That is completely up to fucking you. This environment is perfect for people like that. A bunch of people locked down. When we all get back to work and we can just, go about our lives, will it depower some of this? I'm not sure. I think the lockdown has certainly powered a lot of this behavior. It empowers people who shouldn't be right now. If you desperately need, empowerment through a dopamine hit on Twitter, you're never going to really get it. You got power from a company, but you don't have personal power. It's just when you're on your little Twitter account. But when you go through life, you're the same old you. You're just the same old you, and that's what you need to work on. People often, that guy on the radio show is like saying, they must be lonely. I'm not. I got a great family. I got a bunch of cool friends. I mean, I'm not, but doesn't mean we don't call out bullshit. I'm not 100% happy, joyous, and free. Don't think I would be. Don't know if I'd want to be. So we'll end it there. The pronouns is bullshit. I'm sorry she had to go through that. Gina Carano is an inspiration to many. And as far as Disney is concerned, do what you want. Hire Rian Johnson back for a trilogy. Have Rian Johnson remake the original trilogy. Go fucking ahead. I don't care. I don't care anymore. You don't get any of my money. You never will. And it is very easy for me to skip most of Disney. I know of the companies I am aware they own. I don't frequent them. Again, I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch ABC. Marvel stuff, I own most of the physical media, so I don't need to watch that. I can buy anything else secondhand. I don't buy Star Wars stuff, and I don't buy new comics anymore. And I still have plenty to talk about. Pretty fucking easy. So, fuck Disney. And we're going to end it with something that might block it, but we're going to end it with a song. One of my favorite songs from one of my favorite bands. Now, we have had over 4,000 people watching this whole time. This is unbelievable. I hate to end the show, but I've got other work to do. So again, all the members who signed up, all the super chats, all the donations will be read in a super chat square up that go on my alternate channel, Nerdrotic Live. And that's where this live stream will go in a couple of hours, because I'll unlist it for algorithmic reasons after it's done. So please subscribe to Nerdrotic Live. Also, I have a third channel, Nerdrotic Daily, where Perry Chan cuts out clips from these live streams, throws his genius editing in, and they turn out pretty damn cool, at least on his side. I don't know about mine, but his is great. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, the Mad Lads are back on Friday Night Tights with Lauren Chen. We're going to have Lauren Chen. That's right. 2 ladies, 2 weeks in a row. We're progressive. That's right. We are. Michael Tynan, welcome to the Jaloja level. Eric K. Thank you for being a Nerdrotic. What's up, Odin? How's it going, buddy? Staying off no fish for you and no Twitter either. So thank you, Odin, Jennifer Cisco, Stellar Heather, Eric K. Just another red shirt. Nihilist Shadow. Who am I forgetting? Chris Persia. They are the Nerdrotics, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a round of applause. And thanks everyone who, sorry, I'm still getting used to my system here. Thanks to everyone who participated here. Thanks to everyone who super chat and donated. You help keep the lights on. You help keep Friday Night Tights going. It's going to be a hell of a fucking show tomorrow. It's going to be a fiery show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. So until then, have a great day. Remember, kids, not all who wander are lost.
Fade in.
That was the Subhumans. Mickey Mouse is Dead. One of my favorite punk rock bands of all time. Lead singer Dick is a dick, but he's a good punk rock dick. I think they're still together. Not sure. Everyone, have a great day.
I'll eat your ass. I will. I will eat your ass.
You know, times are changing. Ladies can do stuff now. What? Were you saying something? Look, I don't speak Spanish.